What's going on, AP people? We have APUSH review key amendments that you need to know to succeed in APUSH. There's about 12 of them, if my math is correct. I don't know, somewhere between 0 and 27. That's also the number of amendments there are that you will need to know. Let's get going. Bill of Rights. Okay, when we talk about the Bill of Rights, you need to know why the Bill of Rights were passed. And these were the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. They were passed immediately after the Constitution was ratified, and the purpose was to persuade the Anti-Federalists to ratify the Constitution. Remember, Anti-Federalists were those that were against a strong central government. So the Federalists promised to add a Bill of Rights, and then the Anti-Federalists agreed to ratify or approve the Constitution. First one, hopefully everyone knows, freedom of speech, press, petition, assembly, and religion. So a bunch of freedoms for you. And we will see that not all of these are guaranteed as time goes on. For instance, freedom of speech is limited during times of war. Do you know the court case that said that? When freedom of speech can pose a clear and present danger. Schenck versus the United States. Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. Remember this. How many arms do you have? Count them. 1, 2. Second Amendment, right to bear arms, you have 2 arms. Third Amendment, there is no quartering of troops. And keep in mind, this is passed in response to colonial times when the British would be quartered or housed in colonists' homes. The Fourth Amendment is protection against search and seizure, and this was passed in part in response to writs of assistance during colonial times, which were basically open-ended search warrants. Fifth Amendment, there's a whole bunch. Most notably, you can't be forced to testify against yourself. So when you say, I plead the fifth, you can't, if you are on trial for murder and somebody says, did you murder somebody? Did you murder so-and-so? You can say, I plead the fifth. And also there's no double jeopardy. So if you're found not guilty of a crime, you cannot be tried again. The Eighth Amendment, don't know if you'll see it, but just be familiar with it. No cruel and or unusual punishment. All right, we're going to skip a couple, go to the Reconstruction Amendments, numbers 13, 14, and 15. These will most likely be on your test. 13th Amendment abolishes slavery. Slavery is now illegal. 14th Amendment, there's a couple things you need to know. 1, granted citizenship to blacks. 2, provides equal protection of the law for citizens. And 3, it also states that former Confederates can't hold office. So if you think of the Vice President of the Confederate States of America, Alexander Stephens, he was now barred from holding a federal office or public office in the United States. 15th Amendment provides suffrage for blacks. Keith Hughes of Hughes History YouTube channel created a great memory device. 13th, 14th, 15th Amendments equals free citizens vote. 13th makes African Americans free. 14th grants them citizenship. 15th allows them to vote. Free citizens vote. All right, we're going to jump ahead and go to the Progressive Amendments. The 16th Amendment, look at this picture. Do you know what it is? The IRS. It establishes the graduated income tax on individual incomes. Graduated means the more money you make, the more you have to pay. So this is part of the populist plan. We're going to go back a little bit to the late 1800s with the populists. Another part of the populist plan was the 17th Amendment, or the idea, which becomes the 17th Amendment. And this is the direct election of senators. It used to be that state legislatures elected the senators. Now it goes directly to the people. 18th Amendment in 1919 is prohibition. And the 19th Amendment is women's suffrage, or women are allowed to vote. This is passed in 1920, and this is seen as the end of the progressive era. Here is a woman, this woman that you can see here on the sign. This is Alice Paul. Be able to identify Alice Paul. She is one of the leading advocates of women's suffrage, or arguably the leading advocate. Okay, some other key amendments that you need to know. The 21st repeals the 18th Amendment, overturns prohibition, alcohol is legal. This guy looks like he's having the time of his life. 22nd Amendment, this is passed in response to FDR, 2 terms for the president. This limits the president to two terms now. You're going to remember 2 terms 22, 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 2 terms 22. Okay, sorry, I got a little carried away there. 24th Amendment, this eliminates poll taxes. Now, while the 15th Amendment guaranteed suffrage for blacks, it did not say anything about poll taxes. So it's not until the 1960s that we see poll taxes are eliminated. And don't confuse the 24th Amendment with the elimination of literacy tests. That is the Voting Rights Act of 1965. With the 24th Amendment and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, now you start to see truly suffrage for African Americans, or true suffrage for African Americans. 26th Amendment lowers the voting age to 18, and this is passed in response to the Vietnam War. If at 18 you can go and fight for the country and you could die in another country, then you should be able to vote. All right, there's all the big amendments you need to know for your AP exam. Best of luck to you guys on that exam. If you have not already, take a moment to subscribe. I'm going to ask you, please take 30 seconds. Post this on your Facebook. Post this on your Twitter. Tell friends in your class. As we get closer to the exam, I want to reach as many people as possible. Please tell anybody who you think would benefit from this about this video. I appreciate you guys watching. Best of luck. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know. And that's it for me. Have a good day, guys.